It is so difficult to identify a wealthy man in Ghana because of how they behave, because of their character, because of their way of life. But compare a wealthy man in Ghana to that of Nigeria. When you see a wealthy man in Nigeria and in Ghana, it is totally different. I'm going to be sharing a video of what Nigerians and other countries think about the wealthiest men in Nigeria and that of Ghana. Please like this video, share this video, and subscribe.
You know why I actually pity most of these wealthy people in Nigeria, like Odetola, Dangote, Tinubu, and a couple of them? Now let me tell you why. And before I say this, let me clearly make some intimations. You see all these wealthy Nigerians, most Nigerians, I pity them, and I consider myself so blessed. I consider myself so better than they are. I'll tell you why. I'm better than, if not all the wealthy people, all the rich people in Nigeria. Let me tell you why. While this might sound so, disturbing, or might sound so shocking to you people, let me tell you why. Let me start by asking a very simple question. If you're in a class, would you prefer to be admired by the unintelligent ones in your class or the intelligent ones? Would you prefer? Obviously, the answer is that you would prefer to be admired and sought to be reckoned with by the intelligent ones in your class. Now, this clearly proves or means that you're actually very intelligent. It means that you're a leader. It means that you are clearly perfect. It means that you're a genius, right? Good and fine. That is why you can only attract, or you can only command admiration from very intelligent people. That's good. Now, let me bring it to what I'm trying to say. The personalities like Dangote's, Tinubu's, Odetola, Obi Kubana's, whatever you can call them, and most of the celebrities in Nigeria are strongly admired by Nigerians. They are strongly admired by Nigerians, right? Good and fine. Including VDM. I pity all these people. Now, the situation is, who are Nigerians? The very unproductive set of people in Africa. The infant, the spoiled brats of Africa, the infant of Africa, the retrogressive part of Africa, those are Nigerians. The noisy part of Africa, the part of Africa with criminal tendencies, those are Nigerians, right? Now, but here is my humble self. Who are the sets of people that admire me? No, I don't want you to call their names. Let me give you a clue. Now, these are people who their politicians are 7th position in the whole world, based on politicians with the highest academic records. These are people who their currency is the best in the whole world. These are the fastest growing economy in the whole of Africa. Now, the other are the ones that discovered DSTV, the people that discovered ShopRite, the ones that own Super Sports, the ones that win all the beauty pageantries and just won the under-20 AFCON championship.
And one thing you will love about Ghana is that most of their wealthy guys, you don't know them. They are not noisemakers, honestly speaking. The first Ghana indigenous company that penetrated Nigeria and did big business in Nigeria is Kevin Ochre. Springfield Group, if you know about them, study about them. One of the richest Ghanaians. He went to Nigeria to do a deal of about $1 billion US.
That is how good he is.
I'm not talking about mushroom companies. He went to trade with oil in oil with NNPC and partnered with them in 2012, 2011, 12, 13, 14 thereabout, and was lifting oil in Nigeria successfully with his partners. And some media houses were trying to do some propaganda against him that he was affiliated to the Minister of Finance or Minister of Petroleum at the time, Desi Zani. But you know what? He sued the media house and won the case. He won them financially. They paid him for damages. And he was still doing business in Nigeria till 2015, 2016, thereabout. He was lifting crude, raw crude, and he was trading in crude. This guy is a multi-billionaire in dollars. He's quiet, he's calm. The Springfield Group is owned by a Ghanaian, and his name is Kevin Ochre. If you want to know about Kevin Ochre, stick to my channel. I'll bring you more about him. They are rich Ghanaians that you do not know. They are calm, quiet.
Nigeria does not have elites. What we have are a bunch of loud people with money. You can tell by the way they move around those who are slightly richer or more influential than them. They can never stand for something. Take this one for instance. How many more millions does he need? How many more companies does he need? On Twitter, he still moves like a teenager, like somebody who is desperate for favor from someone. Look at this one for instance. For the past 5 years or 10, you cannot tell where he stands. You can't. He had jumped from this to this to this to this, always swallowing his vomit as supposed elite. That is not an elite move. Look at this one, for instance. All he does is grovel around these powerful people and people who are richer. That is not an elite move. And this is what they call networking. They say you have to network. Your network is your net worth. This is what they call networking. But this isn't networking. This is sycophancy. This is ass licking. And when you don't move like them, they'll consider you rude. Because they don't even know the difference between politeness and being rude. If you stand your ground and outspoken, they'll think you're rude. All that money, as far as I know, like the too much money you claim to have, is supposed to give you freedom. I be no be freedom that they make this money for. But you'll be a billionaire. You cannot say your mind. That is not an elite behavior. We don't have elites. We don't. Those of you who live abroad can bear me witness. That is not how the elites move. Even when it comes to where they decide to live, where they decide to reside, proper elite will get away from all the noise and go and build somewhere. But our own elite, the heart of town, where the hustling and bustling people stay, with all the noise and commotion, that is where they will go and buy land and build house. Elite. Even when it comes to their taste in fashion and lifestyle, everything screams loud, noise, see me. Honestly, we don't have elites in this country. We don't. And that's part of the problem we are facing.
Nigeria has just become that place where you think it is okay that maybe you've been accused of any kind of thing, then you now come to Nigeria, everybody will welcome you with open arms. Senator Imasue allegedly stole millions of dollars from clients in the US, and he was banned for life from practicing law. He absconded to Nigeria. That man is a sitting senator. In fact, he is the committee chair on ethics. See the title they give him? Ethics and Public Petition. This man was barred from practicing law in the US for stealing millions of legal fees that was paid to his client, Daphne Sheffield. That is the allegation. They said Neda Imasue admitted, and he was disbarred, and his name was stricken off from the roll of attorneys and counselors at law. And this decision was taken in 2010, May. He ran away, of course, and came back to his dear country, Nigeria. He refused to appear, following all the petitions that were leveled against him. He ran away, and he came to Nigeria. That person today, he's a sitting senator in Nigeria, making laws that he never obeyed while he was practicing law in the US. And he's now sitting. What is even the thing is that he's sitting as ethics committee chair. Do you know what ethics is? So when issues like this are happening, and they now give somebody like a Senator Natasha a 6-month suspension and all of that, it's like before you even entered the match, you already lost that game, right? Because what it means is that for as long as we continue to have questionable characters in positions of leadership, and people that are supposed to be the ones to protect and preserve, rule of laws and all of that, as long as they have questionable character, the laws will never be in the favor of the upright and the just. It won't. It means that for every time you're about to score a goal, they will shift the goalpost. So Nigeria's political system has been criticized for, of course, prioritizing loyalty and patronage over competence and integrity, leading to a culture of impunity. I've heard somebody say to me that a lot of young guys that do this Yahoo, what they do is that when they do those internet frauds and they hit it big, right, they go and take chieftaincy titles. We have examples of leaders who have been embroiled in scandalous situation, issues on corruption, abuse of power. And would I call it that? What exactly is causing it? Would it be poverty? When we have a docile citizen where you are not engaging, you're not participating in some of the political processes, we'll continue to have the emergence of leaders with questionable characters in Nigeria. Because for as long as we do not prioritize citizens' engagements, to say, what, I must continue to play my role, so that we stop having the crop of leaders that we have and start to intentionally install people that will get us out of some of the challenges that we are faced with, then we'll continue to have things just go the same way. There's a myriad of issues that is causing it. What breaks my heart is the comfort that we think it is okay that after we've done all the bad things in this world, the best thing to go and do is just go and pick a position of leadership. Everything will go away. Because even political leaders understand this. And that's why most times when they are in an opposition party and maybe there's a new sheriff in town, they quickly jump ship to the new party so that nobody questions them. That way, EFCC will not go after them, ICPC will not go after them. It begs the question, is EFCC a political party, or EFCC is actually after fighting corruption? Because if people that are in the ruling party, political party, are not questioned, they are just kept, nobody questions them, then what are we truly fighting? Are we even fighting corruption in this country? So there's a lot to unpack in this question. But the whole idea, right, is I want to know what your thoughts are. Are we ever going to get to that time where we, right, have people with sound integrity and moral upstanding run the affairs of our country? Will we ever get there?
It is only in my dear country that my country people brags about, do you know who I am? Do you know where I came from? Do you know the family I am from? Do you know who I am? That is the number one slogans of most Nigerians, and that is the reason why Nigeria will keep going backward, because there is no improvement. Everybody wants to claim, everybody wants to brag about who they are and what they are not. The rich want to brag about, I am the richest. Even the poor who want to plaster it on your face and tell you stories of how he's from a very poor background. This is the problem we are having as Nigerians. In Ghana, I shared some videos last month about one of the richest guy in Ghana. Despite he opened a museum, I've never heard about the guy, but because he opened the museum, he started trending. He has been a billionaire in Ghana and he has been living a low-key life, humble. Nobody's hearing him going about claiming, do you know who I am? I am the richest man in Ghana. I am one of the richest men in Africa. No, they don't do that in Ghana. Ghanaians are very humble to the core. You will never hear them brag about, oh, I have so many mansions in Banana Island. I have so many mansions in East Legon. I have a Lamborghini sitting down pretty in my apartment. I have one of the richest friends in Africa. Ghanaians do not brag. These people are humble people. I just hope Nigeria can just learn this humbleness from them, because if you come to Nigeria today, even the one that doesn't even have connections will come out and tell you, do you know who I am? You not get anybody. You don't know anybody. In Papa not be anybody, but he wants to make you feel like he is somebody just to bring you down. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section, guys, because to me this is actually how my people are. I wouldn't say all of my people, because we still have the rich people that are very, very humble in Nigeria, but just most of them that are power intoxicated, that power has gotten into their brain, that whenever they see people, the next thing that comes to their mind is how to rob those people, how to silence them, how to make them feel intimidated. Like they say, power intoxicates. Even people who not get power for Nigeria, they use the same power they brag to intimidate people. But it is well. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Like this video and share.